Okay, to recap, this lead has met all the requirements, and I realize now that last year I was not requiring the students to bold their questions. So this student has met all the requirements and earned the maximum points as a lead statement, his second lead statement. In the same discussion, we have a student who is not a lead replying to the lead's subject of cycles of the biosphere. And although it was only necessary to highlight one term, the student went ahead and did more. But I can see that it's less than 150 words, and therefore it was submitted as a reply. And obviously the student did not submit the first statement, so they couldn't be the lead, and they are not assigned to lead by their last name. Again, the bolding of the question is something that I've added to the rubric to help me in the grading. It's a wonderful example of a use of an image. Here's an example of an image that's too large. Although the content is really nice and it exemplifies the discussion topic that the students are engaging in, the image takes up too much of the message box, and you have to scroll several times in order to get down to reading the content of the statement or the purpose of attaching this image. So be very careful that your images are resized before you submit them to the message box as a photo or illustration. Graphs are always nice. As an illustration of the points that are being made, you can use graphics, tables, charts, as well as images that you capture off of other websites. Here's yet another example of the lead replying to a student. He addresses her by her name, and although it is a reply, he has exceeded the number of words, and sometimes that's what is going to happen. But he's met all the requirements then of a reply to earn the 5 points, and a signal that's what he intended by only highlighting one term. Now what you don't want to do, and several students have done this, is create an actual paper and submit it as their one submission, which can only earn 25 points. And then they submit maybe 5 replies and earn another 25 points, but they're only earning 50 out of 100 potential points as a lead. You should take any long statements you have and break them down into 2 or 3 parts, each having a reference and an image and highlighted terms, etc., in order to earn maximum points. So designing these beautiful statements that are really long, 1, students are not going to read it, 2, you can only earn 25 points, and it'd be better for you to break it into 3 parts and earn more points by submitting them as several lead statements or several replies. And here's an example of that. This is the lead statement as a reply to another student, and there's a lot more words than are necessary, more references than are required, but it's a beautifully designed statement. It's just that he can only earn 5 points for this reply. Here's a reply that is doesn't meet the requirements. There's one term highlighted. It meets the word count, but it does not have an image, does not have a reference, and therefore will only earn a maximum of 3 points out of the 5 possible for a reply. And I think I may have mixed up previously. Blue is replies by students who are participating on a leads thread. Green, green indicates the leads submissions, both lead statements and replies, and yellow are volunteer leads. You can see here that this student first had the wrong language and then corrected that submission by submitting the second submission, but still it was not adequate in that it did not meet the rubrics. So once again here I'm showing you the reply rubric. So this meets the word count, it has one term highlighted but did not meet the requirement for having an image, photo, or table, or an academic reference with the text changed to blue, and there's no open-ended question. So actually this is -3 points out of 5 and only earned 2 points. Here's what we really don't want to see in academic discussion. Person is expressing how impressed they are, that it's super interesting, but doesn't really give us any added value. Here's a thought-provoking statement. Here's a question, but the person even admits they have not done any research to answer the lead statement's question. And so this, again, is earning 1 point for a question, 1 point for word count. That's 2 points out of 5 possible. So they therefore lost 3 points by not meeting the requirements of the rubric. Here's the lead replying in the same thread now to another student, and you can see he's met the word count, he's got a question, he's highlighted a term, he's got a reference, and there's an image. And so this student earned his 25 points for 2 lead statements each and 5 points for 10 replies by meeting the minimum requirements in every submission that he made. He streamlined his effort. He applied the rubrics to improve his game plan, and used his time very efficiently. As a lead, you must go into the discussion on a regular basis. You can subscribe to the thread so that you are receiving an alert via email that indicates somebody has interacted on your discussion, and then you can go in and reply. What I like to see is that students over the period of the week have gone in several times, and whether or not somebody else was engaged with them, they still submitted something else on another day, and that shows that they made an effort at leading a discussion. Sometimes I have students that end up, there's nobody interacting with them. Well, then you go ahead and just reply to your own statements. Keep replying until you've maxed out your points, and possibly at the end of the week there may be somebody else's discussion that you can also engage on under your same topic week. But don't let other students hold you back in earning your and maximizing your points. And again, if there's nobody or there's not enough threads being created, and you are not assigned to lead a thread or lead a topic that week, I invite you to volunteer to lead. You can do that just once and earn 100 points. Often is the case, students who did not lead a thread when they were assigned, later on in the 8 weeks will then create a volunteer lead to make up for those points. That is, make up for the points that they lost so that their grade is not too harshly damaged for not leading a topic when they were assigned. Okay, here's another example of the lead's reply. Do you think he earned full credit? Yes. Another lead reply by the same student. Essentially, whether you're lead or you're just replying as a participant on the topic, this is an excellent example of how brief your replies can be and yet keep the conversation going and earn your maximum points, 5-point potential for each reply. Once again, here's the grading system from the syllabus. I encourage everyone to engage in the discussion board. If you do not participate or lead in the discussion board, you will lose 350 points out of whatever the total points is for the course that you're taking. In this case, if you lose that 350 points option, you cannot get an A, B, or even a C. You'd have to get all the extra credit in the mastering geography to even assure that you were going to get a B. So if you do not participate in the discussion board, there's no chance of you getting an A in the class. The discussion board is a substitute for a research paper. It's your opportunity to Show us what you're learning in the class, demonstrate your assimilation of knowledge, practice using that knowledge in a creative way. For many students, they don't test well, and even though everybody should be getting 100% of points on the map exercises, those students who do not test well excel in the discussion board, and even though they've maxed out on the number of points, they tend to continue to vigorously engage in the discussion board, and it's really exciting to see students evolve as they progress during the 8 weeks of the topic discussions. My advice to you is to get started early by practicing in the practice discussion, where I will be able to engage with you. You can read my feedback to other students, and you'll have a grade posted intermediate by the beginning of the second week, and a final grade for the practice discussion posted after it closes at the beginning of the third week. And that way you'll know what you're doing right or what you need to adjust to maximize your potential points in the discussion board. Trying to figure out how to get the best points in the discussion board halfway through the class, 4 weeks into this 8-week session, is too late to recoup any lost points, because you've lost all your opportunities to act as somebody who's replying or volunteering to lead or leading when you were assigned to lead. So follow the grade book and look at the grading, the grade sheet that I posted for you as an individual to keep track of your points, to make a note of when it is that you're assigned to lead so that you do not miss that opportunity, and then calculate your points throughout the class. You can check in your own My Grades area of Blackboard to confirm what points you're earning in the discussion board. And you can also see your total points in Mastering Geography. So you need to calculate your score throughout the class and adapt accordingly to maximize your points so that you earn an A in the class. And many students have done just that and excelled in this class. All of my classes are set up the same way, so that once you've figured out how to work the required assignments to your advantage, you have a game plan then to succeed in all of my online geography classes. And finally, here is that grade sheet that I'm referring to. Here you will track what points you earned for your lead statement and replies in the practice discussion, up to 100 points potential. And I recommend that you do a lot more than that, especially in the first week of the practice discussion, so that you can test all of the tools that are available to you and not be deficient in your score. And then the week that you lead, you will enter your score here according to my grade book and what I gave you as a score. If you have created your lead statements and replies in a Word document and you're questioning why you got the grade that you did, you don't understand the feedback that I provide in the grade book, which is very detailed under each assignment, then you can send that to me as an email attachment, and I will send back the same document with my revised comments on it as to how you need to improve your submissions to maximize your points. Here's the volunteer to lead in case you missed doing the practice discussion or leading, or you led a topic but your grade was unsatisfactory to you. Then you have this volunteer to lead a topic to make up for those points. When you are not leading, you will be earning points by replying. 5 replies that meet the requirements can earn 25 points, and another 5 that meet the requirements of the rubric can earn another 25 points of extra credit. Halfway through the class, you should be assessing what your estimated final grade in the class will be, and you can start populating the grades that you anticipate that you'll get and pre-calculating what you anticipate your final grade will be in the class by including your Mastering Geography score into that calculation. You are in charge of your grade. In this class, your destiny is entirely up to you and the amount of effort that you put into the class. And the discussion board should be a very fun, invigorating, exciting way to improve your score. So have fun.